So when I first started hunting with my dad, the main thing we did was start with off with like small game for like with shotguns or small rifles like 22s, just to kind of learn how to hunt and how to be a responsible hunter, ethical hunter. So we used to go up in the national forest and walk old logging roads and look for squirrels or rabbits or grouse or something like that. And we just go out more for the fun of it than really for like trying to be successful, even though we tried to. But a lot of times my dad would take us out with he'd bring his rifle or muzzleloader depending on the season that was in, and he'd let me bring my 22, and we'd just walk around and try to harvest anything we could really see. But more as my dad was like a teaching me the ways of the woods and like a learning experience more than anything. And I still remember the first spot where I killed my first squirrel and how excited I was, and I shot with my shotgun, and Dad came over and gave me a big high five, and I carried that thing out of there like real like holding it up just like I was super proud, like a big old buck. Once I was old enough to start deer hunting, my dad, we started going out quite a bit, and actually killed my first deer at a spot up on Long Run Road in Falks Run out near. It's kind of near the West Virginia line, and my dad's buddy from church actually invited me up to hunt at his cabin on Youth Day because there's a little better odds of killing a deer there than a national forest. And he took us up there, and my dad's friend let me borrow his rifle, which was a 44 Magnum Ruger. It was a semi-automatic gun. It was pretty big caliber for a little kid, but it was fun, and he wanted me to shoot a deer with it. And so I still remember it clear as rain all day, and we were actually inside the cabin watching college football, but I had my eyes glued on the windows because I was waiting for a deer to come out. And my dad kept telling me, he kind of chalked it up as a loss just because of the rain, but I had my eyes glued to the window, and I remember seeing the doe walk out from the cabin, and I remember he asked where I was going, and I had the rifle, and I was slipping around the corner of the cabin, and next thing you know, that just as a chance had to be, that the deer walked right out in front of me, and I was able to shoot it and make a clean shot and harvest my first deer. And I still remember that day clear as ever. So, but from then on out, it was kind of like something I could never quit. So every year, something else. I started off mostly just muzzler hunting with my dad because that's the most length of season we have around here, and then transitioned to rifle hunting, and then I started picking up bow hunting, and so it's kind of become a full-on addiction along with fishing. But every year we've picked up some new properties. We get to hunt all the time, and it's really fun to try to learn these properties, learn the deer, learn the outdoors, and you kind of take in the knowledge of trying to become a better hunter every year. So you're never satisfied, no matter how good you are. You can watch these guys on TV and talk to your buddies at school. No one's ever satisfied with just being, you kill a big deer, next year you're looking for bigger. You kill two big deer, next year you're looking for three. So you're never satisfied. And even if you get to that point, you're trying to start managing your land, putting in nutrition for deer, knowing them, and making things healthy for their habitat. And it just starts to become a full year round ordeal where you go out scouting. I know we scouted a bunch this year, and go in the summer, the spring, and you have trail cameras out all year. So it's a lot of times people just assume deer hunting is only in the fall or the winter when the season's in, when you see them running around chasing. But really, you're seeing them all year long. You're putting in work all year long, putting in money. It's those types of things, which is part of the sport because you're dedicated to it, and you want to know, you want to be ethical hunters, so you want to know where they're going to be. You want to have your gun sighted in, your bow sighted in. You want to be pretty much an expert with your weapon for the deer's sake. So you try to just encompass all these aspects, become a more successful hunter. And it also is a great thing for camaraderie with your buddies, because a lot of times you hardly ever hunt by yourself anymore. I'm always going with friends from school or with my dad or just family friends, and that's half the fun of it, is getting to watch other people hunt and other people get their animals and just share that experience with them. And I know a lot of us aren't strictly antler, looking for antlers. We're meat hunters. Everyone here appreciates it. No one, we all have freezers full of deer meat, and we all love it. You can use it for everything. You can do hamburger, deer jerky, roast, everything. So people use it year round, or you can donate it to the Hunters for the Hungry and things like that. So there's never a bad way to look at hunting other than takes up some of your time and maybe time away from some of your schoolwork. But as long as you can manage all that, it's always a great time to spend with friends and family, and just to just to be in the outdoors for all that time. So I would look at it as like a thing where I can just look at it as something that lets me escape from my everyday things. Get away from work, get away from school, just something you're looking forward to always. So you get to look forward to weekends when my dad's off work and we get to go hunting, or you're looking forward to that quick afternoon hunt with your buddies from school where you don't have too much homework, where you can slip out, and it's kind of an escape from reality where you get to go put yourself deep in the woods, and you also get to look on God's creations, like reflection of all the things that He's able to put you in. And you don't want to miss out on all these things that He's letting you look at and created for us to enjoy. So I always look at that when I'm in the woods. I find a lot of peace looking at all the mountains, all the trees, and everything that's on this earth. So it's kind of nice to get away from the traffic and the roads and all things like that.